welcome back to my channel, and I have an announcement to make. Man City is back, potentially. So, let's go through the known transfers here first, just quickly. So, Vitor Reis and Kushanov, they've both signed, okay, we knew that. Or, they haven't signed yet, but they will. Now, recently has come out, Marmoush is also a done deal, so all that is left is medical stuff and the actual signing for Marmoush, and then he will be a Man City player as well. With that news, however, news around Marmoush and Man City signings in general, there has been a few concerns, and I will answer those concerns in a minute. But there's a lot of people who are like worrying about, oh no, we're lacking a midfielder, we don't need goals. It's absolutely pointless to get another source of goals in a team that has absolutely no source of goals right now. Sure, how that argument works for you, but there is also Cambiaso, my apologies for the bad pronunciation, who is going to sign, potentially, for Man City. It was not struck down by BBC when they reported on it. However, they did not say that it was gonna happen. So, what happens with Cambiaso? That is up for debate. I think Man City might be agreeing personal deal terms with Cambiaso. They may not have anything else agreed. They may not have reached out to the club yet. As you knew, with Omar Marmoush, we had agreed personal terms with Omar Marmoush, and we had not even contacted Eintracht Frankfurt yet. So maybe it is the same situation for Cambiaso. I'm not quite sure. Whatever the case, Cambiaso is up in the air at the moment. But right, let's address some of these concerns here about we need a defensive midfielder. Well, we have a defensive midfielder, Kovacic. What we need is a young midfield. So I want a defensive midfielder, I really do. And I want Zubimendi, specifically. I want us to go out there, splash the cash, buy Zubimendi. We're not doing that yet. It's a release clause. If we were gonna do that, we would have done it already. I don't know why we are not doing that. But what I do know is we're not doing it. So, Kovacic, he is our defensive midfielder at the moment. Great, no, but he can do a job. The real issue in our midfield is Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. How can you say that? Oh, and Matheus Nunes when he inverts. How can you possibly say that our issue in midfield is these two guys? I mean, Kevin De Bruyne creates so much. Yes, and what does he do outside of creating? When Kevin De Bruyne was younger, he would contribute a lot defensively. He's not doing that anymore. A lot of people don't rate what De Bruyne did, holding onto the ball wise, doubling the pace of a game. A bunch of things he no longer does. All he does now is create. So sure, if you need a goal, that is nice. It is not enough to consistently perform in a full game. Meanwhile, Bernardo Silva, I see a lot of people trying to defend Bernardo Silva. I said last season he should have been gone in January. We kept him in January, we kept him in the summer, and now we're gonna keep him through another January for absolutely no reason. He is so done. And take these two guys out of the team, yeah? No one can replace De Bruyne's creativity. Like forget about that. We don't have anyone. We're not gonna sign Florian Wirtz, so we won't have anyone. But we still need to be able to play without that creativity from De Bruyne. So where do we get that replacement from? Well, Omar Marmoush. Marmoush is the Alvarez replacement. Remember? Pep Guardiola said he's the Alvarez replacement, sorry. Alvarez played as a second striker attacking midfielder when De Bruyne did not play. He played as a striker when Haaland did not play. Marmoush will serve a similar function. Marmoush is better for this function. I think Alvarez is a better overall footballer. I think Marmoush is a better fit for what we want Alvarez to be, what we wanted him to be. So, if he's gonna play the way Alvarez played, Marmoush, young, energetic, can still contribute and hold the play and stuff, and can still create. He can score a goal, and he can still do more than De Bruyne. He's not as creative as De Bruyne, but all the other things he still brings. Foden. I mean, are we gonna put him back in midfield now that Oscar Bob is coming back from injury? We don't know. What about Echeverri? Where does he play? He's an 8-10 hybrid from what people tell me, very similar to Foden. What about McAtee? Grealish? Doku? I mean, we have plenty of options here for a younger midfielder to put in this midfield together with Kovacic and Marmoush. And then if you need a goal, you bring De Bruyne off the bench. If you need to control a game, slow it down, you bring Silva off the bench. If you need, I guess, a left winger, you put Nunez on the left. And with just having fixed midfield here, we will be so much more solid. We will be defensively a lot more solid. Because currently a lot of stuff that is putting put on our defense is simply our midfield not doing its job. So our midfield simply getting outplayed too easily. And that puts a lot of strain on our defense. Now Kusanov, I think Vitor Reis will actually get loaned out immediately, so I don't really care about him. But JSP, Lewis, Kusanov, I mean, you still have Riley here as well for the midfield. And left back, he played left back as well, so there you go, you have another left back potentially. Cambiaso, another right back potentially. If you get all of this in, you have a lot more depth in defense. Now, whether there is quality there with Kusanov, GSP and Lewis, that remains to be seen, but you'll have a lot more depth. Diaz and Stones will be returning from injury. We're going to be looking a lot better. So, a lot of people are very panicked about a defensive midfielder. Man City's biggest problem, it's not a defensive midfielder. It is an old, aged midfield. A midfield that cannot run. A midfield that cannot pass. A midfield that cannot play high-tempo football that Pep Guardiola wants to play. That is our biggest problem at the moment. Our second biggest problem is one Haaland injury means no more goals. Marmoush fixes that. Savio is starting to get more output. Bob coming back from injury. I mean, don't put too much pressure on the kid. We've not seen a full season of him. But there is a lot of pressure on him. Because we have seen what he can do before. So, Man City will just be so much more solid. So much more solid with these signings. And I get it. We want a defensive midfielder. I want a defensive midfielder. I want Zubimendi and I want him now. We haven't gotten him. We're not gonna get him. So, here is the brutal truth. Man City may be waiting to get a defensive midfielder until the summer. Which I know, and I agree. We should not be waiting anymore to get these players in. But we are, and there is no point in panicking about it. This season is done. If we don't get top 4, I don't care what we win, unless it's a Champions League. Sack Pep. I think Pep should have been gone after the Feyenoord game. I think he's gotten plenty of resources. I agree with all of you who are currently in panic mode. However, if we get top 4, which I think we will, and we win the FA Cup, which I think we will, we're gonna just have another good season next season, I would hope. We're gonna spend in the summer, and we're gonna have our rebuild. This rebuild should have never happened, though. Here is one thing I will say, yeah? Because I'm trying to play devil's advocate for both sides here right now. Here is the one thing I will say that I don't think can be argued. Neither side can disagree with this, if you're being honest. This rebuild should have happened after the treble season. It should have started at 10. It should have been slow and gradual. We should have gotten in an extra winger. We should have gotten in a new right back. We should have started in last summer, so the summer just passed, gets that Bernardo Silva replacement that I had been talking about. We could have gotten Olise or Eze. I mean, if you look at how those two play, if he had gone out with Bernardo Silva then for one of them, we would have so much less issues in midfield. We could have gotten Zubimendi over the summer or Bruno Guimaraes, but we did not want to pay the price. So this rebuild, it's way too late. We have started way too late, and I fully agree with anyone who says this. I am not happy if we win anything this season or if we don't, because this situation we're in is of our own making. I agree. And there are no excuses for me. If you want to find an excuse, the only thing that tells me is about you not trying to strive for excellence. And if you remember what the club says from Khaldoun Al-Mubarak, we strive for excellence and hope fans expect it from us. So don't tell me that I'm a toxic fan, because Khaldoun Al-Mubarak, we strive for excellence and hope the fans expect it from us. There you go. You don't strive for excellence if you think there's any excuses for what this season has been. Words from your own chairman, which you guys like to suck off the moment we win a trophy, but when things go bad, you slant him for some reason. Weird stuff. Anyhow, that is it for me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a ton with trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the season. Tall order, may not be possible. We will see when we get there, but yeah, that is it for me. Tell me down below if you disagree with any of my assessments tactically, or if you disagree with any of my assessments in the transfer window, which is just me stating facts. But tell me anyways. Tell me if you think we're gonna get anyone who I haven't talked about maybe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.